this stream here, we'll be looking for what's called bog oak, and it's a really cool wood and a really cool process that turns the wood really cool. So basically what happens from the beginning is a log will fall into the stream, or a stick. It doesn't necessarily have to be huge. And what happens is it kind of buries itself into the mud or the bog, depending on where it is, and the minerals in the bog and no exposure to oxygen basically makes the wood on the inside black. This piece right here looks like it's been here for a while, and even whenever I wash away some of the mud, I can already tell the wood is kind of black. Now, if the wood, like this piece up here that has just been laid across the stream, if it just keeps getting wet, the wood's gonna rot. But what happens is whenever it's down in the water, in the mud, just not exposed to oxygen, the wood itself isn't actually gonna rot, and it just collects the minerals basically. I definitely felt that moving, but I'm really gonna have to dig it out. This log, or this board that's been laid across, is definitely in the way. Now with that moved, I think, boy, that goes far down in there. You can see it moving the dirt all the way back here. Now that tells you this has been here a long time. For all this sediment to build on top of it, and that's a pretty long time. It can be pretty tricky to get this out, although it's in a pretty convenient space because it's not all the way at the bottom of a bog. Finally got this thing free. A little bit bigger than what I was expecting, and one thing I am a little bit worried about is some of the ends that were farther into the mud. They might not be fully bog oak there, they might be a little bit rotten. Of course, really what I've got to do is cut this thing open a little bit, let it dry, get a good look at it, see if it's rotting in some places, maybe not in others, so that's gonna be pretty cool. I pulled out the other half of this a few days ago, and it's a little bit more dry, and I can show you what the other half looks like. This is a piece of that dry stuff cut, and that's black all the way through, so I'm really excited to cut this up, maybe use it for some projects, pen blanks. I've purchased bog oak before on eBay, and it's really a fascinating wood. It's super cool, and I'm excited to maybe even have a little bit more of it. This is a pen that I've made out of bog oak, and it's definitely a tricky wood to work with just because it's really easy for it to split whenever you're turning it, but it leaves a really cool finish, and it's up there on my list of favorite woods. It's really expensive though. For a blank about this size, it's about $3 worth of wood, as compared to another exotic wood like Purple Heart. It's about $1 a blank, or maybe even a little bit less sometimes. So it's probably one of the most expensive woods you can make pens out of, so I'm really excited if this works out to make some really cool pens. This is the log that I got a few days ago that's really had some time to dry out. Of course, I'm gonna cut this up a little bit and then let it dry for a year and a half, maybe even longer, before you can make pens out of it.